It's said that our cells replace themselves every 7 years. So why, when we get a scar, does it not go away in 7 years? Well, the truth is that actually not all cells change in 7 years, that there's the average cell changes in 7 years. Everything's different. Red blood cells have a lifespan of, say, something like 70 to 120 days. Intestinal cells turn over like every 10 years. Skeletal muscle cells around 15 years. Skin cells sometimes as fast as 14 days. It varies a lot. People have asked, if the cells turn over every 7 years, does that mean I'm completely new in 7 years? So this is a question we have to ask ourselves, because as we come into this new year, is there a new you? So in this, I know one thing for sure. As a spiritual being, I am not my body. So if my body, even if it is new in 7 years, let's just pretend that all of them did change in 7 years, what would be new? The truth is that time is simply a measurement of consciousness, directing energy upon universal law, manifesting in the 3D realm, right? So I'm not new. There may be something new out here called the body, called the year, called all the construct of this. But the truth is, the truth of who I am is ageless, is untouchable. You are untouchable. You are the observer. You are pure potential. You are consciousness. You are divine. So the truth is, the new year is really about a new thought, which means a new you. Because as the observer, what do, right? As the observer, you're able to change your perception. You're able to change the meaning that you put around things. You're able to change what you energize and what you choose to create, right? The truth is that everything out here is the same. Nothing changes in the physical realm. There's just new equations to solve. Everything that we're seeing in the world is cycles. We've seen it over and over again. We learn this in Exodus in the Bible, the Israelites enslaved and then being led by Moses to freedom. The cycles of the financial markets, the cycles of the astrological cycles. Everything is cycles. Everything is the equations, the mathematical equations of this binary system. Call it the matrix if you want, but the stories always go the same. It's the hero's journey, right? And here we are. Nothing's really new. The cells turn over. But so what really happens? Let's take a look back at that scar. So if the cells replace themselves, on an average of 7 years, why does a scar not always go away? And so there's a very important part of this equation, which is the perfection of everything that's created. There's an intelligence that lives and breathes in each one of our cells. It's called universal law, and it will create exponentially for our survival, because that's what it does. The truth is that there is only life. The truth is you are immortal. You are not just this one body. You are you've been expressed through all the DNA of all time. That this new year is nothing really new. The only thing new about it is that part of you that is that observer, that is the divine, that is that part of you that actually can create something new. A totally new mathematical equation with all the hands that you've been dealt. Robert Collier talks about this life principle of supply and demand. He says, yes, if you take up some exercise like lifting weights, that within days you'll begin to have calluses on your hands to meet your needs. This is a law of supply and demand, right? If we demand it, it will rise for us to survive perfectly. Krishnamurti states that the observer is the observed, and therein lies sanity, the whole, and with that wholly is love. The truth is that the 3D realm is something for us to create, and that we'll survive regardless. The cycles will go on. The new DNA and all of it going into the new lives will always be there. But there's only life. But the truth is that what can change in this new year is you, that part of you that is the creator, that part of you that is the observer, that part of you that can have a new identity. And so I want you to invite you to look at this last year. What meaning did you put around it? Were you the victim of stuff? Did you make things wrong? Were you feeling like you were stuck in patterns or overwhelmed or maybe even hopeless? Because if you want to restore the sanity and that holy love within, we have to get back to that freedom within that is beyond the world out here. We know that in Matthew 6:33, the famous saying, but seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added. I changed it, of course, to, but seek first the kingdom of God and her righteousness, and all things will be added. So as we go into this new year, I know for sure the only thing that I am committed to manifesting, the only thing that is a New Year's resolution, the only thing that I choose to embody in this new year is to seek first the queendom within, to seek first her righteousness, to get my mind right, to get my thinking right, to get my new thoughts in order, knowing that I'm not of this world. I am the creator. I am the spiritual being that is co-creating as the one, as the oneness, as the unity. Rene Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. And so we have to really break down, what new thought do you want for this year? We recognize that identity creates the thoughts create the feelings create the emotions, and the emotions create the circumstances of your life. So what are you thinking? What meaning are you putting on everything out there? And where are you going to direct your energy for 2022? Because what I know for sure is there is only pure potential in you. I was on a bike ride earlier and I was out. It was so gorgeous. I'd been on a bike ride for a couple of hours and it began to get dark. And I was on this intercoastal pathway on Palm Beach, a stunning bike path. And it was looking out, the sun had kind of gone down. It was past sunset almost. And it was this light from the city and everything was glimmering on the water. And there was pink still afar from the leftover sunset. And I had in my headphones and I was listening to mantras, Kundalini mantras, and the mantra came on a call. And if you know that mantra, it's a mantra to release spirit. It's used primarily when people are transitioning from their body into release and no freedom for that spirit. And when the song came on and I was intentional about New Year's Eve, immediately what came up was to release my soul from 2021, to release it from all stories, all limitations, anything that's gone on, because 2021 was a beautiful year, a blessed year, and also challenging year. And we recognize that you can't have one without the other, that we have to stop only focusing on that there should only be positive. That's not what we teach. We teach that we transmute all energy into using it for the highest good. And part of that is embracing the dark, embracing the challenging times to be able to birth our truth and use it to propel us even further, right? So this year 2021 was a beautiful, miraculous year and a challenging year. You can't have one without the other. And in training, hundreds of women and thousands of women across the globe in different communities, it's incredibly fulfilling to watch people transform literally, physically, mentally, spiritually, in their business, everything, monetizing, finally, all that. And then also dealing with, managing a bunch of people. And so I recognize that this year, as I go into this, as I was riding my bike down and I'm listening to a call and my tears of joy start, rolling down my eyes. And I just am so grateful to release, to know that I'm able to do that with a blink of consciousness, that I can choose to free myself, that I am that person in prison, that those Israelites that are in chains as slaves, I am that I am. I also am the I am that can free myself instantaneously. And in this new year, what I declare for myself is to only seek the queendom within, to know that as I do that, all things shall be added. I recognize in the year as I reflect back, I start begin to reflect back and I go, when my spiritual practice was stronger and deeper, my sleep was deeper, my stress was less. When my spiritual practice was not as strong, I didn't sleep as well and I would stress more. And so I know that our immune systems matter. Everything matters. Everything comes down to that peace within, that knowing, that queendom within. And so I just say right here, right now, may there be a new year, a new thought, and a new you. By the power of your mind, I know right now that there's only pure potential. That as you open up your mind to all possibilities and allow yourself to receive everything, at the core is the infinite consciousness, the connection between your individual consciousness and your cosmic consciousness. That there is an unveiling divine source, all energy, all pure potential until it is observed. And it's only you that get to observe it. You get to put the meaning on it. You get to polarize it. You get to do that into the human experience. Your beliefs set the limit of the demonstration of principle. Never forget it. I know right now that the principle itself has no limit, that you're the only thing that can limit yourself this year. And the law, the abundance, the truth of life is ready to fulfill every last drop. It is infinite. And your ability only comes down to one thing. Your ability to have abundance, your ability to have prosperity, your ability to have love, your ability to thrive in 2022 is only up to your receptivity of the truth of who you are. May you receive yourself. May you receive the glory that you are. May you receive the receptivity of love and laughter and joy and prosperity and abundance and the sadness to transmute all of that all at once. I know if you are feeling stuck, if you are scared to go into this next year, if you're like, oh my gosh, but I know right now, right here, that this is the desire. The desire is the fulfilling. The desire is that cut that comes into a scar that is only perfect because you are perfect. You are divine. And no matter what circumstance you've had, no matter what traumas you've had, no matter what suffering you've had, no matter what deck of cards you've been had, your hand of cards you've been dealt, I know right now that that's perfect, that you always will survive, that you not only survive, but you thrive because this is your birthright. And so I just say yes to 2022. May we have a masterful year full of development and growth and love and service and community and all the above. I simply say yes to this new year, yes to this new thought, and yes to the new you that is truly the truth of who you are. I think and therefore I am. Thank you so much, and may you live your truth. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Dr. Erin podcast. We come together to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. Our mission is to awaken 1 billion people together. And how I know we will fulfill upon that mission is by developing world-renowned spiritual leaders. So if you've had a spiritual calling and you really want to have a spiritual community, or you're looking to monetize your spiritual gifts, or you're looking to get certified in E4 trauma method, or become a master spiritual psychology coach, or become a practitioner, or a new thought minister teacher, or a doctor of divinity, feel free to DM me, or we put our email and stuff below here. Have a beautiful day. If you're looking, also, I'm so excited. 2022, what I am committed to doing on this podcast is 2 things. 1, doing power talks like this one, and 2, doing a call-in show. So you can actually apply to come on the show. I would love to dive deep. The more vulnerable, the more transcending we can give our gifts to the world. We'll be doing everything from, just giving feedback on whatever you're going through, no matter if it's relationship stuff, money breakthrough stuff, career, anything going on, family, friends, getting confused, overwhelmed, all those things. I know that we're going to break it on down from a metaphysical standpoint, from a universal law, from all that stuff. We can also dive deep into processes, subconscious reprogramming, trauma work, past life regressions, all that. I'm so incredibly excited to have this year with you right here, right now. And if you've gotten value out of this, please like, share, and comment on this show. Share it with a friend. We all have got to get our mind right. Okay. Have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth.